Okay. Hello, YouTube, and this is my first video. I'm going to be talking about my son, my case that I had in 2009, and how he was stolen from me by the state, by the county, Champaign, Illinois, and I don't know, this will just be the first video. I'm just going to jump right in, and if you have comments, questions, write them, ask me. I'll probably do a live video the second time so that way it'd be a little different. But so my son was born 2008. 2009, we moved to Champaign, Illinois, Champaign County. I moved for schooling. Me and my son went to school. I went to church. I had a full-time job, my own car, my own place. At one point, I did have a roommate, female, her child, but other than that, very independent. I picked a doctor coming into this area, didn't see that as a problem, but the doctor that I chose, she started being a little nitpicky, asking a lot of questions about his weight, wanting us to see different doctors to test him. So we went and did many tests. With that happening at the same time, I agreed for a feeding tube just to get his weight up a little bit. I knew there was nothing wrong with him because I weigh 89 pounds, still at the average after these many years, and 4'11". So he was average to me. He came out 7 pounds, 8 ounces. This was not a premature baby, and he did not get sick, throw up. He finished every bottle, so I see no problems. With them doing all their tests, they made a few problems. I had never seen him throw up before until there was milk being pumped into him consistently. Dumb things, if you ask me. Skin biopsy tests, all these specialist tests that were coming back negative. There's nothing wrong with them. It's what I was being told from all these doctors. His pediatrician, his primary care doctor, didn't see it that way. She obviously, I feel like, was collecting money or something more doing all these things. But anyways, so I'm living my life, and he's getting bigger, so I'm asking her, why can't we take the tube out? She disagrees. She starts making mistakes from what I was recording. I do have papers of this. I have evidence of a lot of these situations that I'm talking about and explaining, just so that my viewers are aware. This is not your common case. I seen something wrong. I felt something wrong, so I definitely recorded everything of what I could. First, last names, dates, times, bottles to ounces, all of that. So I started doing that exactly around the time of him being 8 months, because she would refuse to take out the feeding tube. So DCFS is popping up at my house now. I'm literally ready to move out of this area because of all these extra situations. And I'm trying to get his papers transferred. I'm trying to get everything together so that we can move. My lease was about to be up, and I let her know she was being prepared for all of this. Yet DCFS started popping up, and I'm thinking nothing of it, because every time they come, they didn't see anything wrong. They give me this letter that said unfounded 8 times. But after number 8, I'm like, who's harassing me like this? Like, this is ridiculous. I'm not one of those mothers, you feel me? I'm actually stay-at-home mom, enjoy being with my baby. My baby goes everywhere with me. So I didn't see what was going on. Now, I'm not racist, but those were white people that were coming to my house. I started talking to the black people in DCFS, and I was told there was no problem in what I was doing. My son should be returned to me, and I had a court date to go to, because here's the big whopper. I show up at a doctor's appointment. She claims that I guess I was medically neglecting him. So she had police officers at the doctor's appointment. I'm supposed to just be weighing my son, checking his weight. to take him from me. Why? Her reasoning was I missed an appointment when I was at work and his father was supposed to take him. Usually when you miss an appointment, you reschedule, there's no problem. When I rescheduled, she had a problem. So, mind you, his doctor that delivered him is calling her for medical papers. She refuses to send them. I didn't even know that was legal, but she said she wasn't releasing his papers out of her care. Why? There's no diagnosis, but she claims that he's medically complex. Can't be medically complex because you go to a lot of appointments. That means nothing. We need a diagnosis. We need to know what's wrong with the child. There was nothing wrong with the child, but they're doing a million things. Well, she was a million things to make it look as if there was a problem. And of course, my housing conditions weren't getting any better. I'm staying here and there while they're doing all this, going to court dates. At one point, I moved into a hotel with my son because why? My lease was up. I'm trying to move out of town. And now I have to spend money out of my pocket because the doctor says she doesn't want to release him yet. I'm not knowing all of my rights. I'm a first-time mother and terrified that I don't want to lose my child. I feel like they knew this and she used this. So I'm fighting, and he's in foster care because his father signed a piece of paper to put him in foster care while they did an investigation. That was illegal. I didn't sign any papers, and he shouldn't have been put in foster care. He should have been with me while you did your investigation. But couldn't do anything about that, or I'd go to jail. Next on the list, I'm doing whatever they want me to do to get him back on my own, mind you. I read their pamphlets. They're supposed to help with the transportation, any type of thing, anything like that. They weren't helping me. To make matters worse, they moved him out of county to Bloomington Normal. I won't give all details, but I'm telling. Bloomington Normal is a little bit further, a little bit out of the way. So that seems like it was going to be more difficult for me to see him. I still went and seen him as much as I could every Friday. There was a couple of times where tickets weren't sent. It was blamed on me. Certain schedules weren't put right. It was blamed on me. I dealt with it all while doing parenting classes, while taking random drug drops every day. That, mind you, all of them were clear. No dirty drops. Parenting classes done. I did them on my own. Domestic violence classes, because on record, my baby daddy put his hands on me. Just gonna put it out there, it's the truth. But how can you tell me you want me to know how to pick him? And I was with him for 2.5 years. Disrespectful. Anyways, beyond that, while he's in Bloomington Normal now, they call me and ask me if I can sign a permission slip so he can get his hair cut. How were you able to move him out of county without my permission? Making it harder on me. And now you need a signature for a haircut. I start digging. I kept doing work. These are Catholic people at that, and I'm Christian. I don't believe in what they believe in. So they're doing things against my religious belief at the same time. There's a lot of rights being violated here. So how did they get my rights? All these court dates that I'm going back and forth to, it was stretched out for about 2 years before they could take him. I'm going back and forth to these court dates, and I had a surgery that I had to get, a minor surgery, happened to be on my ovaries. I have record of that too. I have record of them telling me that they were going to reschedule it. But when I called for my rescheduling date, my rights were taken. How can you take a mother's rights that is in her right mind, her right ability, capable, showing up? I'm not perfect. And at the same time, when they started this, I started medical assistant classes because supposedly I'm medically neglecting him. If I'm in class and I'm doing everything you want me to do, how can you take my rights from me when I'm not present? I'm in a hospital bed. I spoke with my defender. I didn't have money for a lawyer. I spent all my money on everything that was going on. Everything I had saved in my accounts, gone. Because I was going to do everything it took to get my son back. I was ready to go home with my family. to Aurora, Illinois, where he was born. And this started happening. So I go back to court without my rights. And their pamphlet again says, we are going to place with family. We look to put the child with family. So they tell my mom to come